Hey, blessings on you as you come across my video. Alright, I just want to share my thought on an issue on that kind of I've been contemplating on it, like how I feel about it. Okay, I'm speaking on oral sex. Okay, is it what they call fellatio, right? Okay, yeah. I'm looking at it, or I'm kind of questioning if oral sex is safe. Is it hygienic? And was it a sexual? Was it a normal practice? Was it practiced in the olden days, or or is it a ways of humans, exploring on ways to heighten their sexual pleasures or get more satisfaction from sex. See, whatever I'm saying here is based on my opinion. It has nothing to do with how you feel about it, what's your perspective on it, or your opinion on it. You can have your own opinion. I'm just sharing my perspective on this issue when it comes to sex as a practice. See, when you look at oral sex, you have to understand that each part of our body was created for a certain purpose or a certain function. And a situation we use our body, a certain part of our body, or a particular part of our body, in the way it was not originally intended for, it becomes an abuse to that part of the body, right? So you look at how oral sex is practiced or carried out. It involves the use of our mouth, to pleasurize our sexual organs. And in such cases, I have been wondering. I wonder a lot of time: is it hygienic? Right? Is it even good for our spirit as humans? Mostly, if you are a spiritual person, is it safe indulging in oral sex? You see, looking at the society we live in today, people have no sexual discipline. You see, folks, they just hook up and shack up, or some they have like a one night stand. They can have sex with anyone, or engage in casual or random sex without even knowing the person. And living in such a promiscuous society is a huge risk. to engage or indulge in oral sex with people or partners that you don't know, or you're not in a non exclusive relationship with, right? Because you know, you don't know who that person has been with. You don't know what they've done with their body sexually. And here you are, you just meeting up with someone, or you just going out with someone, and you are indulging in oral sex. I'm like, shouldn't we know better as humans? Shouldn't we know that that's not safe? Right? You don't know what that person has in them. You don't know what disease, what health risk is involved. And people are so loose in with this type of lifestyle. Even in a marital relationship. Here, the Bible says that the body of the man belongs to the woman, and the woman's body belongs to the man. When you are in a marital, when you're married, right? So you both have ownership of each other's body, right? But even with that, when it comes to certain sexual acts, right, there has to be a level of agreement and understanding on both parties, right? You can't impose what you want, your sexual desire, on your partner. Neither the same with the other person. You can't force your partner to engage or indulge in any act sexually that is not what he or she wants. Both parties have to be consented. There has to be that mutual agreement that both parties wants to engage in such act of sex or sexual pleasure. And also, mostly when it comes to oral sex, right? For one to engage in it, even in a marital relationship, there has to be faithful. The both partners has to be faithful to each other. I don't think it will be safe, even in a marital relationship, for partners to engage in oral sex if one person is unfaithful, if one partner has stayed part of the marriage. I will not do it, because that's a totally different. I don't know how to put this. Like when you get to, engaging in a fellatio or oral sex with your partner is a very intense, deep act of sexual union. I don't know how to, it's like a deeper level right there, to use one's mouth to pleasurize a partner. There has to be, is he cleaned up? Is he healthy sexually? Is there STDs involved? Are both partners clean? have they been tested to be clear of any kind of STD or nasty stuff that could be going on there? These are things I take into consideration. So when people are so loose and free, engaging in sexual, in sex, even to oral sex or fellatio, and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on with humans? Even animals knows better, right? Because when you get so loose to that point, then you open yourself up for diseases. Is you get infected, right? You get infected. I even thought at one time when I'm hearing of a throat cancer, right? I'm thinking, have they really research on it that some of it could be caused by folks engaging in oral sex, because whatever germs or nasty stuff going on in that the person's body, or someone that is not healthy, that has contacted some kind of STDs, and you are performing this fellatio on the person, you are sucking in all those nasty it's crazy, it's yuck. You sucking them into your body, right? I'm like, have people lose their sense, to that level? Looking at me as a person, even giving a kiss to someone, I have to know you to a certain level. There has to be some level of, how do I put it? I have to know you. I have to know you. I mean, like, know you for real, for me to even engage in kissing a person. I don't just meet someone and I'm engaging in kissing or letting someone kiss me like that. I mean, you know what I mean? I have to know you, because I don't know where that mouth has been. I don't know. And, some disease could be contacted through fluid from the mouth. So, oral sex to me should be practiced in a very restricted cases when it comes to sexual partners. In a marital relationship, both partners has to be faithful. If it is or a non-marital, both partners has to be in an exclusive relationship, where you don't have to be concerned about them getting infected with disease and then bringing it to you, right? And also, even with that, there has to be tests. People should be tested for STDs, not just even oral sex, even engaging in sex of any. People has to be tested. If I'm dating someone and we're starting to build a relationship, for us to get to engage in sex, you have to be tested. That's my standard there. I don't meet you and then because we are dating or then I'm starting to no. Both has to be tested and cleared, so I can be free to for both of us to uh, uh, enjoy each other sexually and not have to be worried what's what you have in you or what I have in me. And not just oral sex, but there are a lot of nasty things people are doing these days in effort to heighten their sexual pleasure or sexual satisfaction. I've heard of gold wash. People peeing on partners sexually during act of sex. They pee on each other, and they call it gold wash. I'm like, that's shit right there. That's shit right there. What kind of pleasure do you want to get from sex to a point that you're peeing on your partner, in during act of sex? Some even drink the urine. I'm like, this is shit. Or now the so-called trouble, where even in married couples are bringing in outsiders into their marital bed, to engage in sexual act as ways to explore or gain more sexual satisfaction. I'm like, that's no marriage. When you bring in an outsider to engage in sex with couple, that the covenant of marriage is broken right there. That bed is defiled according to scriptures. So folks are doing, even when I'm speaking on this, you see, I'm referring to the so-called Christians and folks that claim they are believe in Jesus, or that children, God's people, or whatever, however you want to categorize yourself. But I'm speaking to people that some have some level of knowledge of truth. They have some faith in God, and you're supposed to know better. So the ungodly, they can do whatever they want to do. They don't have that truth in them, so they can explore, do already, because there's nothing. I don't know how to. I don't want to come across as condemning, but I'm specifically speaking to those that has some knowledge of the truth and knows what is right and wrong, that things like this should be taken into consideration. We should not allow what the society is doing to influence us even to such intimate part of our life as sexual practice or indulgence, or we should be guided by the truth, if I'm correct, or we should try to be decent to some extent and act as humans. You see, you don't have to engage in this abominable act and detestable act in order to gain sexual pleasure. You can still be decent. You can still, honor your body and still enjoy and sex and have all the pleasure you want and still be decent. It doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to, be extreme. Right. And you have to understand sex is a spiritual thing. When I look at sex, I look at a relationship with the Most High, with God. And I don't want to sound preachy. I don't want to sound like there's a revelation I had about sex, and when I had that revelation, because I used to, I was like, when you know what sex is, when you are in the height of that of it, when a man and a woman is really in the, when you are getting to the climax of the pleasure, it's like it shouldn't end. But it's so short-lived. I guess this is why people engage in all these other acts, because they are trying to prolong that high, that climax of pleasure when a man releases and the woman releases, and it feels like it shouldn't end, right? It's a type of a relationship with the Most High. I look at sex as a preview of heaven, because when you get to that point, it's like you lost in it. Like at that point, you don't think about your bills. You don't think, like, it feels like, yes, it's like you are in the height of pleasure. I don't know how to explain. I don't want to be too graphic with it, but as someone that has been in that has engaged in sex, you know what I'm talking about. It's so pleasurable that you don't want it to end. So people sometimes they do things to try to extend that pleasure, to be in it, but it can only last for a few minutes, because that's how the Creator intended it to be. But it's a preview of a relationship with God. Is the Most High allowing us to have a taste of heaven on earth, all right? So sex is a spiritual thing, and as such should be practiced with I don't know, sometimes I run out of words. Okay, but I was looking at oral sex, in that we have to take certain things into consideration before indulging in it. There has to be faithfulness on both partners, right? And the people has to be cleared of any disease, any STDs, before one should, and don't just meet with people and engage in oral sex or fellowship. Don't do that. That's nasty. It means you don't have regard for your body, right? Because you could be infected, because you don't know where the other partner he has been, what they have done with their body, who they have been with. You don't know what they have inside of them. So to engage in oral sex, you have to be sure the person is cleared of any kind of STDs, and you yourself too, right? It has to be practiced in a safe manner, in a safe and healthy relationship, right? In which both partners are faithful to each other. That's just my take on it. I don't know what you think of it, but I just wanted to share that with someone. Okay, blessings on you.